I'm out of the bottle, baby. The Orange County based ones, I spend a lot of time doing like the chicken dance and shit like that.
Right.
But when we went to when we went to the one out in Big Bear, it's supposed to be like the third largest or some shit like that in the country, in the world, in the galaxy. Um,
Can you imagine if other planets had fucking Oktoberfest going on?
yeah,
How
you'd
fucking
be like,
awesome
I
would
gotta
that
go
be?
to that planet.
Can you imagine? Like, it
Um,
would be called like the chicken dance. It'd be called something else.
yeah, it would be called the Borstoy dance.
But it'd still be the same moves. Because there's
Yeah.
got to be chicken. There's
For
got to be
some
chicken on every
reason, yeah.
planet. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's just what we call chickens. It turns out that every life form except for chickens vary from planet to planet.
But they all go da 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 da, and they have their fingers. But they have like lobster claws on that other planet. And they're just like da da da.
We always get the chicken dance basically, and then there's a couple other ones. But this one, more than anyone I've been to before, they had what seemed like more authentic German or Bavarian or something dances, because they had one that I didn't know what the actual words were. They were like Storch, 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 immer wieder wurde stand, immer wieder wurde and they were doing like different moves, like putting their hands straight up in the air, or they were like flapping their wings, or they were swimming, and you learn it. And then you can do it. It's like the Cupid Shuffle or whatever, or it's like a YMCA or something.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you don't understand the words, but at the same time, the words are so not difficult, and they repeat themselves so much that it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and that was fun. And they also had like English stuff, like McDonald's, Kentucky
Fried Chicken and the Pizza Hut.
Pizza. Yeah, there you go.
They do that at Alpine Village a lot. I was like, what the fuck is up with this song?
It's very strange, but I love the variety. They had a log cutting competition, and they had a bunch of stuff that you just don't see, or I just don't see going to stuff around here. So
I've seen Alpine Village do all those. But I don't think they do it every single time. Maybe it's only like a weekend event that they do that. I've never seen it over at Old World. Old World, all we saw was like the Congo line, and that's about it. At one time we were there, we saw them like do an actual like rehearsed dance, and it looked more like a cotillion dance, and it looked like a Oktoberfest dance.
Yeah, it looked like a Knights of the Columbus sponsored kind of thing or something. Leisure World sponsored Oktoberfest out in Old World. But
right.
I mean, it's fun. You get there, you drink, and the company makes it good or bad, I think, in most things. But the Oktoberfest out in Big Bear, I think regardless of the company, it was a great atmosphere. The people everyone was out having a good time. Good
yeah,
good
I met a cool girl who apparently was like Miss Oktoberfest in 2001 or something like that when she was back when she was like 19 years old. I didn't tell you about that?
No.
So there was like this girl that I met in line, and she was like, oh, like, she's actually pretty cool. She's pretty nice. And so she was there with a couple of people, and she was telling me how, they used to take our picture, and she used to be like Miss Oktoberfest or some shit like that. And she's like, yeah, but I wasn't old enough to drink yet. But now that I am, oh man, I get fucking drunk as shit, and I get all the free entries. And she went and she hooked me up, and she was walking around, and she was drinking in line with she had a flask, and she's like, oh yeah, you always gotta drink while you're waiting in line, otherwise what the fuck, what's the point? So she's like, you want some? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I do. And so she ended up going in and giving me some of her flask, which had Jameson's in it. So we're sitting around in line waiting to get food, drinking Jameson's with some random person I never met before. I'm like, all right, this is cool. Even though it was a pink flask, I'm like, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I mean, if it had alcohol in it, you would have carried it around for the rest of the goddamn thing.
Then I met her up later. She's like, I'm like, hey, it could be some more. She's like, here you go. And then after that, I didn't see her anymore. So,
Aww.
But she had tons of people around her at all times. So there's lots of different stuff going on. So I get to meet my own interesting person in line, fucker.
The bees were buzzing.
I know.
They always are around cute girls. She must have been cute, huh?
Yeah, she was pretty cute. And so we had that situation, and then we had our friend Michelle, who ended up drinking a little too much. She was on this new crazy what was it? It was like no wheat diet, I think no cheese diet, something crazy like that.
Oh, wow.
Where just some certain things were just restricted. So she was on that. And one of the things was like she couldn't drink beer, but she could drink hard alcohol. So she came prepared with two bottles of, what was it, like
blueberry vodka.
Yeah, 2 plastic bottles of blueberry vodka that she was it was seltzer water and blueberry vodka, and it tasted fucking terrible. And I was the only other person. I think pretty much I drank most of that with her, I think. Did you drink some of it?
Good for you. I did not drink hers, but she actually left some in the house, the cabin that we were staying in, and she drank so much of it before we left to Oktoberfest that I was like, I'll just finish the rest of the bottle. She'll be nice and gone before I even get over there.
Should be way tasted.
So I loaded up a water bottle of my own,
right,
and chilled it a little bit, and it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but she had 2 of those water bottles, and I think I drank combined all together. I think I drank like a whole of it. Oh, really? Damn it.
Yeah, she was sitting at the breakfast table, drinking it.
Getting drunk as shit.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that happened while we were up there is we all went to breakfast the morning after. Right before we're about to go head on home.
After.
Well, before I jump to that, I'll talk about how the fact we got to see the Oktoberfest at around 4:00 in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And you and I left at around 8 p.m. And it felt as if it was like midnight. I seriously, we were taking that the cab on back, whatever the tram, whatever the hell you want to call it.
They had a free shuttle. It was pretty cool.
So you're taking the free shuttle on back with all those fucking frat kids that were fucking honked out of their minds and all wanted to go to Taco Bell to get some food, and they just they would not shut up about anything. When we finally got dropped off, I look at the time where it's like 8:20 in the evening. I'm like, holy shit. Holy crap, I can't believe it's only 8:20 in the evening. This is fucking insane.
Yeah, we get back to the cabin and everyone's blitzed and everyone's tired and it's dark outside. And they're like, what time is it? Yeah, 8:30.
You're like, fuck. And we're not going to go to sleep. Time. Yeah, we're not going to go to sleep until like 2 a.m. So fuck. Heads up, we have a minute left.
Okay, I'll try and finish this within the minute. So it turns out that there's a meteor shower.
Well, hold on before we get to that, because I know I sort of jumped ahead a little bit, but the other thing I wanted to talk about was us having to deal with the guy in order to make use of the last tickets. Do you want to explain to them the ticket idea and how that works on over at the Oktoberfest up in Big Bear?
Yeah. So I'm gonna make it fast because I still have to drink my beer. So it turns out you buy a bunch of tickets, so they'll charge you like $10 for a ticket, so it's like $50 for 10 tickets or something like that. So you buy them before you get your beers. You have to invest this money in beers that you're going to drink, and they give you tickets, and you have to redeem the tickets. So Cameron gets a bunch of tickets, and that's why I owe you that money. So don't worry about it.
Well, the idea is you go there and you buy this stack of tickets. And so that way, when you go and you wait in line, instead of them saying, hey, give us $5 or $10, they just say, give us 2 tickets. And that way, I don't know, that way that they get their money no matter what beforehand. So you walk in there, you invest $50 or $60 in order to go and get those tickets. And if you don't use them, they're like, well, it fucking sucks to be you.
Yeah, it's a very Groupon mentality that's awesome because you already spend the money up front, and whether you redeem it or not is up to your drunk ass.
Yeah, if you forget to go and redeem a couple tickets, they're like, well, you should have done it. Anyway, so time is up, so go drink it so we can fill up our next one.
I just finished my 3rd one, so
okay.
Round 4.
All right, I'm opening it up. I'm about to pour.
Okay, go, and I will start.
Hold on. Let me I'm starting the timer.
Okay.
So that way we're ahead of time.
Such a moderator.
Hey, man. It's going to be one of those things where, like, hey, it's going to take an hour for the radio show, as every single time it takes, like, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, well.
We record... we're supposed to drink every 10 minutes, and it ends up taking, like, 2 hours.
We're horrible at this.
It's a lot of beer.
We're horrible at drinking on time. Not drinking on a schedule.
Oh, well, yeah, when you sit around and talking and trying to drink at the same time makes it difficult.
You got to do it until you get it right. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Hey, you know what? The worst thing that happens is we have to practice more.
Try.
Try or try dying. So you go and you get those goddamn fucking tickets. So I went and I got a stack of 10 because I figured that, with the amount of people that we had there, which was a total of 13, that most likely, there's going to be some people that needed a ticket, or I can give them away, or, we just be like, whatever, whatever. I'm in for $50 for 10 tickets. 10, I was like,
that on top of it being a ticket is a small beer and a 2 tickets is a big beer.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it's
go.
not. Oh, yeah, so like you have that situation where essentially every big beer is $10, the same it was over at the Alpine, or well, not Alpine Village, but Old World Oktoberfest. So every single time, and it wasn't even like it was like whatever. The beers were the exact same size, so I'm already in debt of $50 in order to go and get those tickets. So I'm like, all right, whatever, no big deal. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use it. And so throughout the whole entire day that we're there, I'm meeting up with weird random people. I'm meeting up with strangers. I'm giving them to my friends. We're walking around having a joyous occasion. No big problem. You know, I buy an $8 fucking pretzel without nacho cheese because I wanted a pretzel when I was hoping it had nacho cheese, and it had fucking nacho cheese outside, but I didn't get that nacho cheese because I didn't do it right. So no
They
nacho
did have
cheese.
nacho cheese.
They
but
did
you
have
didn't get
nacho
it.
cheese, but it was outside. So
Disappointing.
I went and I waited in a line for an hour inside to not get nacho cheese. And I saw someone else with nacho cheese. That's the whole reason I wanted it.
Oh.
If I didn't see someone else with nacho cheese, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, well, I understand that there's only goddamn fucking mustard, and just like not even like the good mustard. It was just the yellow mustard. So
Just Kent mustard or whatever the fuck it is.
I want
That's
to
horrible.
mustard on my face.
And that's funny because that actually prefaces your mission for nacho cheese at the second Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
And then
because I wanted it
again.
And I was like, and they went and they had the small pretzels. So I waited in line. The thing is that the only thing I have to bad against the actual Oktoberfest over in the goddamn, what was it, up in the Big Bear area is that they're just terrible with fucking lines. So they have a line to go and stand in line to go and get fucking your food. And that line was not the right line to stand in line for pretzels. There's a separate, entirely different line. I couldn't even get a goddamn pretzel in my food line. So I waited like an hour in the food line to get a pretzel. And then right next to it, you know, there's no gap. There's nothing that says, hey, this is the pretzel line. So I wait an hour. I'm like, I'll take a pretzel. They're like, oh, go in that line. I'm like, fuck. So I walk on over 3 steps to go to the pretzel line, which has a total of 4 people in it, as opposed to that a line of about 50 people. Yeah. I mean, well, I ended up going and getting free Jameson in it, which actually worked out okay for me, but
Nice.
I didn't need to wait for the hour. And so by the time of
How did you coerce this girl into giving you Jameson, by the way?
I was talking
You
to
just
her.
talked?
And then
You were just charming?
Oh, I was just shooting the shit with her and talking about stuff, and then she talked about that's where she brought up the whole entire story about her being like in the past was she was like had pictures taken of her and stuff like that and all sorts of weird shit.
I bet. In her sleep? Without her knowing?
Exactly. She just kind of woke up and she's like, oh look, the magazine is featuring me, and I had seen all my naked poses.
My uncle used to take pictures of me when I was sleeping.
Every single time. My brother and my mother and my dog. I don't know how they all mounted me all at the same time. Oh, man. They are so...
My uncle used to play hide the weasel in my no-no.
In my anus, so... So, yeah, so she was like, she broke out her flask out of nowhere and she started drinking it. And I kind of had that little look like, oh, I don't have a flask. She's like, you want some? I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, what is it?
Nice.
She's like, Jameson. I'm like, I will have some.
What?
Hook me up.
I'll tell you this. Even a 5 as a girl turns into like a 7.5 if she's got a hidden flask of Jameson.
Well, she also had a pink hidden flask of Jameson. So she wasn't like, she didn't have like someone had bought her a flask. It looked like she went out and she bought her for herself,
Yeah, this isn't like the flask this guy handed me. This is my flask.
Yeah, this isn't like, oh, there's a flask around, so I'm bringing it with me. This is like, that was her personal flask, and she came prepared for all that bullshit.
That's strong. That's very Michelle of her.
Yes. So I wait in that line, and I wait to go get that food, and I find out it's the wrong fucking line. So I jump into the other line, and she's like, oh, yeah, there's no nacho cheese. There's only mustard. I'm like, well, where's the nacho cheese? She's like, oh, you got to go wait in line outside.
What?
And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? How do you not have it?
Or how do you just... There's a line for nacho cheese? You're a fucking crazy person.
It was $8 for a fucking pretzel. $8 for a pretzel without nacho cheese. That's what bothered me.
If I spend $8 on anything, I hope that they have the option of putting nacho cheese on it.
Can you just imagine going to places? Can you just imagine like going to an upscale restaurant? Like, oh look, I paid $60. Where's the fuck my nacho cheese?
Yeah, you're like,
I want some more. Take a chili nacho cheese, and I want it now, fucker.
I'll have the surf and turf and some nacho cheese. What? No nacho cheese?
Wait, I gladiated your face. Check it out.
Oh, you've been drinking and now you turn aggressive. I get it.
Yes, you know how it is. I must be all sorts of macho and shit.
I'm
So,
trying to eat my zombie flesh, and
uh,
I'm gonna die from eating it anyways. So it's like tobacco. You need it.
did you
It's
need
my
some bread?
cancer stick.
I got 37 bread on me.
All right. I have some cookies and shit
Blah
in there.
blah blah.
Stop throwing up on me.
I can help it. So
Never stop throwing up on
that's
me.
that situation. Where were we going with that? We were going, me
You were
going
describing.
paying $8 for a goddamn pretzel without nacho cheese, which kind of made me a little bit sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so that was that entire situation. So ended up having to pay all that, and we were going around getting various amounts of alcohols, and there time came where we were just all hanging out, and we weren't actually buying drinks, and it ended up being that my packet of stubs of tickets. I had 2 tickets left. I had 2 tickets out of the 10, so I paid $50 for. So essentially, I had $10 worth of tickets in my pocket. Everyone's like, you know what? Our friend Michelle, who was drinking copious amounts of alcohol, she'd already gone home because she got fucking plastered as shit. At this time, it's around 7:30 at night, and all of her friends are like, "All right, it's about time for us to head on home. We've had enough of this bullshit." And I'm like, "All right, sounds good." And we all started like heading on out. We have 2.5 minutes left.
She got a lot of sleep.
Wow, I'm not even halfway done with my beer, and there's 2.5 minutes left. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. So
Okay,
we go.
drink your beer.
All right, you drink. I'm gonna drink. You talk.
So our friends are about to leave, and they're like, "All right, everyone, wrap it up. It was good times." So me and Cameron, we're pretty in the mug at that point.
Also,
But it's okay because
we had already walked outside. We were all waiting for the shuttle. That's
hold on,
important.
we have a free ride home, so we're okay. So the remaining people come out. So there's like 11 of us at that point, and we follow them outside. They're looking for an exit. We find the exit. We head out. We're looking for the free tram like point where they're gonna load us into this free tram so we can get back to our place. And Cameron's like, "I got 2 tickets." Oh, sorry, Phyllis is like, "I got 2 tickets left." And I was
I'm
like,
going around
"Well,
looking, making sure I have all my stuff on me, and I reached in my pocket because I put it in my back pocket for whatever fucking reason I did, and I pulled it on out. I'm like, "Oh shit, I got 2 tickets left."
yeah."
And at that point,
we're gonna fucking use that shit.
yeah, because it's not like we're gonna come back on up anytime soon to like redeem the rest of those tickets. So it's like wasted money at that point.
Big Bear is like 2.5 hours away. Did I say the same thing twice? Yeah, 2 to 2.5 hours away. But it may as well be Paris to us because we're not coming back here to go drink some beers.
And we're not gonna drive all the way back up fucking Big Bear so we can go to Oktoberfest the next weekend so we can redeem those 2 fucking tickets. That's not happening.
Yeah, so it's game on.
Well, I mean, it's easy enough. You're just like, hey, we walked outside. We were like 3 steps away from the goddamn entrance. So we can walk back inside.
For me, I'll tell it from my perspective. For me, when you have 2 tickets that you've paid it's 50 for 10,
total 10,
so
it's $10.
So it's I mean was that 10 or 20? No.
10. There's 2 tickets out of
10 5.
If 10 tickets is $50, then 2 tickets is going to be 10.
Yeah, I totally got you. So you already paid $10 into this. At this point,
no, I'm $50 in. That's just $10 of loss.
Yeah, $10 of that is a loss at this point if we don't get those beers back. So for me, I'm like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna go redeem these beers. I turn around and we both we're like, see you friends, we'll see you back at the cabin.
I'm like, holy shit, I gotta make use of these goddamn tickets. And we're like, and I look at Leo, I'm like, Leo, will you drink with me? And you're like, fuck yeah, I will. Like, there's no way in hell that you're gonna go back right now when you could be going and drinking beer with me. That'd be fucking dumb. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Like, now we're on a mission to make use of our tickets.
This is the exact equivalent of things that I've told Jay is when a drink is ordered, it's getting drunk. And that's the equivalent of it because we've already paid for this drink. Whether we've redeemed it or not, that's been paid for. That's a drink that's basically sitting in front of us that we were either going to walk away from or not.
Yeah, it's like, why the fuck would we not, especially when our ride home is free and we have to wait for a couple of other minutes at the next shuttle so we can go home and get on back there, just no problem, lickety split. So, like, why the fuck would we not just stay around for an extra couple minutes, make use of the tickets when, we don't have to drive anywhere. We don't have to worry about anything. All we have to do is just wait for another shuttle, as well as with 11 of us, going into a shuttle anyways would be a fucking nightmare.
Absolutely. And I think
Even if we got our own shuttle, even if we got our own shuttle, it would have sucked. So it's not the worst thing if we got our own shuttle, if we got into another shuttle and we just dealt with it that way. So
I almost realistically thought that we could get the beer, drink it, and that line had maybe like 15 people in it before we got there. So I realistically thought that we could get in, get the beers, and get back out.
Well, yeah, I went to that one station where I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of people. The only problem that we were running into is, because we knew it was at least a shuttle away. So if we didn't have to deal with the guy that wouldn't let us in, then it would have been a completely different story. So I'm still drinking my beer. We're already done with our 10 minutes, so I'm going to chug mine, and then you can chug yours, and then we'll open up our next beer.
Okay, go. So we turn around and we're like, see you guys in a minute. We're going to go finish this. We're going to go redeem the last of our tickets. So we go up, and in my mind, I'm like, we're gonna go redeem these tickets. Let's see how it goes. So we go back up there, and this guy, I'm Hispanic and American Indian. So when I say this Mexican, know that I am being racist, but I'm partially the race that I'm being racist against. When I say this
you're so goddamn racist.
This Mexican security guard in Big Bear, so it's spread throughout the nation, Mexicans in security. He decides that he is going to tell us no, because their policy is no reentry, period. We have our bracelets. We have our 13 people that we brought in. We're obviously intoxicated. We obviously have tickets that we bought there and redeemed there. They don't print out on their own. You can't print them at home and bring them over. They're obviously things that we got in this place. And he's like, no reentry. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, no reentry. And this is Fillers talking to the guy previous to me even jumping in.
I'm like, are you kidding me? You saw me walk right over there. I'm showing you the tickets that I have, and
I have this bracelet. I was obviously in here just now. We had a bunch of people. These are all things that Fillers is saying, and he decides that he's going to say something that is going to make me go, now there's no way I'm leaving without getting in here. Which is, he goes, no, I know when you came in, I'm the one who put the bracelet on you. And I was like, well, unless you were a blonde girl 3 hours ago, that is a lie. I have not seen you before I'm trying to re-enter this thing.
That was the best part. He's like, dude, I was there. I was totally there when I went and I put that bracelet on your arm. I'm like, fuck off, fucker. I totally remember. You were not that person in any way, shape, or form. You're lying to us. You were, we were just like, drilled into him instantaneously. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You are fucking lying your ass off. You are totally not the person in any way, shape, or form that spoke to us, helped us. I've never seen you before until now. You were probably manning this place 3 hours ago. You're fucking not that person. You're fucking lying to us.
As soon as he said it, I think he was like, oh fuck, because
the looks on our faces are like, what? Really? You were the person who went to put, I'm like, all right, how about this? If you have such an awesome memory, who were the other people in our party? Who else is there? Describe one of them. If you describe one of the other people in the party, then we'll pretend okay, maybe we were wrong. Maybe we were so drunk and inebriated that we completely forgot the other people that you were there handing us and doing it, even though we know exactly you weren't. Just guess on one. Seriously, if you just went and looked around at the other people that were standing behind us, you probably could have, done a pretty decent job of guessing at who was there. But
and
no, you're like,
after that,
you just fucking bullshit right there.
After that, I decided that it was game on, and there's no way that I'm leaving without getting back into this and getting my beers. So I decided to tell him, not only am I getting in here, but go ahead and tell me what you need to do. You need to call the police. You need to call security. What if I just walk right by you? He turns around and he shows the word security on the back of his black polo. He's like, I am security. I don't got to call nobody. And I was like, well, you need to call somebody because we're getting in here. And
my exact words was, "Where's your manager? What the fuck? Come on, man. Where's your manager?"
I say, how about this? We give you the tickets. You get somebody to go get that beer. We'll drink it right here, and then we'll head out of here. I'm trying to compromise at that point. I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, we'll give you 2 tickets. You'll give us half a beer, and we'll drink it right here. He's like, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, we give you our 2 tickets. You give us a compliment. You tell me I'm handsome, and then we'll just head out of here.
That's all you gotta do. All you have to do is just say we're handsome.
He's like, I can't do that. I was like, this is ridiculous. So you and me both, we were insisting on there has to be someone else. You have to call someone else. There's no way at this point I'm walking away from this because you're a liar and an asshole.
You're a liar, you're an asshole. There's no way that I'm going to be sitting here and be like, all right, you know what? Check it on out. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give you a hard time. You're going to end up calling your fucking manager because, you can't deal with the situation, as well as you're hoping that your manager can either get us the fuck out of here or something like that. Do something, because you don't want it on your shoulders.
Yeah, you don't understand that we're going to be here for the next couple hours until you end your shift, giving you shit. You're not going to be able to do your job. Yeah.
When you're fucking lying to our faces and acting like, oh, come on now. Like, I can understand his point of view, where he's hoping that by saying that, which is like, well, fuck, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, shot in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I can appreciate that.
There's something wrong with it. There's no reason why he's gonna be like, nah, why don't I give it a shot? But at the same time, but there's that zero tolerance policy. What they're trying to prevent you from doing is fucking leaving the place, walking on over to Taco Bell, eating up a whole shitload of Taco Bell, coming back on over, and so you don't have to go and eat their food in there. They just want you to eat their food in there or drink their drinks in there. Like, they don't want you to walk over to 7-Eleven, get tanked over there, and walk back on in, which I understand. But at the same time, like, dude, we just walked out. I have 2 drink tickets. Even if I found them over there on the fucking ground, why do you give a shit? Just let me in here, and I'll tell you what. You can watch. How about we even didn't give them that offer. You go, you call someone, they bring us our drink. We'll drink it here in front of you, and then we'll leave.
We don't even. There's nothing that we're going to perpetrate here. Like, we just want the beers that we paid for, and that's it.
And like, how about this? I was like, well, then I want a refund. Give me my money back. If you give me my money back, I'll leave. I don't give a shit. This is dumb for me to have this. I'm not going to use this again. That's retarded. All of our friends decided to leave, and I ended up going. I'm like, oh shit, I need to redeem the rest of it. So I walked 2 extra steps, and you're giving me a fucking hard-ass time for it. And then you and I, and we're like, nope, not going to happen.
Yeah, I stonewalled the shit out of that. I could not leave after that. People don't lie and then get away with it, as far as I'm concerned.
It goes against everything in your nature.
Yeah.
Everything in your being.
But I can appreciate that, because there's people that you have to take that step. He's trying to, but he's scoring one for the man at that point. If he was the one that paid $10 for a beer and they were saying that he couldn't redeem it, then he'd be like, fuck, and get me back into this place. But he's just doing his job, which I appreciate. But we're there almost being very reasonable at that point. We started out by saying, all we need is this beer. He says, we can't let you back in. I say, how about someone just goes and gets us the beer? We'll drink it here. I mean, I think we're being very peaceable about this.
We're like, look, dude, we got these. I went and I already paid for it. Let's just make it so we can drink the beer. We don't need to go back inside. I don't need to go back into your facility and pretend like I got a free ticket on in or anything like that. You might have numerous reasons why you don't want people back in, but let me use my tickets.
And I'll say this. If I was even like 0.01% meaner, and I was totally thinking about this, but when we were heading back out, I was so tempted to just rub it in his face, but I didn't, and whatever. You didn't either. But
it's his job, man. Like he's supposed to do that, not try to let people back in. If he does and he gets found out, then he gets fired. Where I was like, dude, call your manager.
I love that
call your fucking manager.
I love that we were saying that and we were calling like someone hires someone something, and he ends up going, well, he's right behind you, like he called him, which he didn't, because we turned around and we're like,
he did earlier.
There you go.
He talked into his microphone earlier when we were giving like berating him and shit like that.
I don't even know if he had a microphone, because when the guy turned around, he was like, can I help you? And I was like, oh, he called you? He's like,
no,
I think
there's something he did where he obviously like he did something where he talked into a shirt to inform someone that he was like running into an issue.